Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen and welcome if you are new. I'm excited you're here. Today we have a huge project and I'm excited to bring you guys along with me on this little project that I need to get done. It has to be done today because Christmas Eve is just a couple days away. Our church is doing a huge Christmas Eve service. We're expecting around 400 people, which is pretty good size for our little church. So we're excited to welcome so many new families into our church and visiting families. And so we are just excited and ready to love on everybody that comes through the doors. But we are doing a cookie table as well as a hot chocolate and apple cider bar. So I volunteered to make all the cookies. We've got about 450 cookies to make, or as close as we can get to that number. Today we need to get these done so that they are ready for Christmas Eve service. So I'm excited to bring you guys along with me on this journey as I make all of these cookies. I'm making several different kinds, not just one, because that would be too easy if I just did one cookie. And so we're gonna do about 4 or 5 different flavors. So I found a dough as I was researching this after I volunteered to make all these cookies. I found a dough on Pinterest that makes 5 different flavors of cookies. So we're gonna do the cookies, but I'm not exactly gonna follow their mix-in suggestions. I'm gonna do a couple things on my own that I wanna do. So we're gonna start with the super simple recipe first. We are gonna use some mini M&Ms, and that's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna do some Christmas M&M cookies. These are gonna be super festive, really pretty. This is gonna be one cookie dough that I can do and get it done, and I can feel like I've accomplished something once this one's finished, and I can press forward and get the rest of them done. So let's get these cookies made. So we've got our mixer set up, we're ready to go. We need to get all of our wet ingredients in here first. This makes a pretty good sized batch. It says it makes 84 cookies. So we're gonna see how close we can get to that number. So it takes 1.5 cups of butter, which is 3 sticks. So we're gonna get these into our mixer. I am excited for Christmas this year. This is our second Christmas with our church. We didn't start there until January of 2022. So this is only our second year of being there for Christmas. And when I was talking to our pastor's wife, and she mentioned that they were going to do a cookie table this year and that they were just gonna probably go to Costco and buy cookies. Those Costco cookies are great, they really are. But you know what? This is the way I serve my church. This is the way I serve God, is through my gift of cooking that He's given me. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the gift that He's given me. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of cookies, and that's what we're gonna do for our church family and our visiting guests for church on Sunday. So we've got our cup and a half of butter in here. We've got 1 cup of packed brown sugar. We've got 1 cup of granulated sugar. We've got 2 eggs. I will leave this recipe in the description box for you guys, so that if you want to check this out for next Christmas, then by all means. About a teaspoon of vanilla. I rarely measure my vanilla. I love vanilla, so a little extra never hurt. All right, so we are gonna get our wet mixture mixed up really well. Three cups of flour in this bowl. We're gonna put in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and we're using our Redmond's real salt. Let's get our flour. I like to use a whisk to blend my flour and baking soda, baking powder, salt, all of those things, because I think it really lightens up the flour. It makes for a really, really tender cookie. Okay, we're gonna start adding this in. I'm gonna use our 1/2 cup measure. We're gonna turn this on low. go ahead and mix in 1 bag of our mini M&Ms. Let's see how that looks with just 1 bag in here. Let's go another half bag. We're gonna save part of this bag so that we can add some to the top. I think that's probably good. Okay, I'm gonna use a spatula now just to kind of mix things together. These are gonna be super pretty, really festive on our cookie table. Looks like we've got a little bit of dry dough in the bottom of our mixer bowl, so maybe we'll get this off of here and let's pull our paddle attachment off. I think I want to mix it the rest of the way by hand because I don't want to break up those M&Ms. I want those to still stay whole. I can see that it kind of broke up a couple of them, which is fine, but the majority of them, I want them to stay whole. If you're doing a big cookie day like this one, don't wash your bowl that you are putting your flour in or your measuring cups that you're just measuring sugar or brown sugar, because then you have to dry them and it's a whole pain. It's just a huge pain. So I'm gonna just not wash those things, just keep using them. Since I'm using the same dough again for a couple other cookies, I'm not even gonna wash my paddle attachment or wash my bowl. I'm just gonna keep moving forward. So we're gonna use this cookie scoop and we're just gonna drop these on our parchment paper lined cookie sheet. I've got my table cleared off and I've got cooling racks over there ready to go. So as they start coming out of the oven, we can just get them right over on our cooling racks. I've got both my ovens preheated to 350 degrees. So these will be ready to cook. That's the other tip for you friends. If you're doing a huge baking day like today, like I am today, have your oven preheated and waiting for you so you're not waiting for it. Have all of your ingredients out, have your plan so that you know what you're doing and you're ready to get these things done. So there's one sheet. Let's move our cookie dough to the side so we can put a couple extra. I'm gonna put these in a bowl. Easier for me to get them out so I can, we're just gonna put a couple. We don't need a whole bunch. So I think we're just gonna do probably 4 on each cookie, just so we have some cookies up top, or I mean some M&Ms up top. And then we're just gonna get these in the oven, friends, and we're just gonna keep moving forward. This is gonna take us a good portion of the day, I'm sure, to get all of these cookies made. And that's okay. I set aside an entire day to make all of these cookies. We're gonna have something super simple for dinner tonight so that we are able to just keep moving forward and get all of these cookies made. But I'm super excited about these. I think these are gonna be super cute on our table. I really wanted something green and red, something really festive, and I think that these cookies are going to achieve that for me. So all right, friends, there is tray number 1. All right, friends, our first batch is out of the oven. We're gonna get these moved to our cooling rack so that we can continue using this sheet pan. Get the rest of these done. These turned out so cute. I am so excited to put these on a cookie table this Sunday for church.
Tell me one thing, is there
This is 104 cookies right here. We're gonna get this last batch right here on our cooling rack. Let them just kind of hang out for a little bit before we try to put them in our container that we're gonna store these in until Sunday. So I ended up doing a double batch of this specific recipe for the M&M cookies. And I ended up getting, as I said, 104 cookies total. It said you're supposed to get 84 1 tablespoon size dough. I did not. So I'm assuming that I probably made mine a little bit too big, which I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine. I want these to be substantial cookies, not something super small and tiny. So I'm okay with what I got. As I said, it's 104 cookies and we are ready to move on to recipe number 2. I'm actually moving on from the dough that we were using a minute ago because the last 2 that I want to do of those, I don't want to contaminate my bowl. I don't want to have to keep washing it. So we're getting ready to move on to some Peppermint Kiss cookies. These essentially have kind of the same ingredients in them, but they're going to hold their shape a little bit more. They're not going to flatten out like these, so that we can put these kisses in them after they come out of the oven. So let's get over to the mixer and let's get this batch of cookies made. All right, friends, we are going to move on to our Peppermint Kiss cookies. I'm super excited about these. I think these are going to add a really pretty pop of color. We're not doing a huge batch of these. I only have 1 bag of Peppermint Kisses, and I'm just trying to use up a few things that I have around here to make some different varieties of cookies. We don't need a ton of any particular one. I want our table to be beautiful. I want us to have a little variety of everything on there. So let's get these peppermint ones made. I have not washed my bowl, and I'm not going to because we're using the same type of dough and it's gonna be fine. So we need a half cup of butter, not sugar, a half cup of softened butter. And I left my butter out. I didn't tell you guys this at the beginning, but I left my butter out last night, just sitting on my counter. That way that it would be nice and soft and ready for me this morning. We need 1 cup of sugar, 1 egg, I also have some Hershey Kisses, and we're gonna put those in a cookie as well. So there's our sugar, our butter, and our egg. We're gonna put in a little bit of vanilla. And it does not call for this, but I'm going to put some in anyway. Since these are a peppermint cookie, I'm gonna put in a little bit of peppermint extract. Just a dash, just to kind of pump up that peppermint flavor that's in these. All right, let's get this mixed together real quick. We're gonna put in a half a teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. All right, let's take our whisk and let's give this a quick little mix real fast. And then we're just gonna add this directly into our bowl with our butter and sugar and egg. I'm gonna add it in a little bit at a time. We've got 2 tablespoons of milk. That's going to give us that little extra moisture that we need to pull our dough together. And just like that, friends, our peppermint dough is ready to go. All right, this time I'm using my smaller scoop instead of my bigger one. So we're just going to get these put on our cookie tray. We've got our oven already still preheated at 350 degrees. I'm trying to stick with cookies that take the same temperature so that I don't have to keep adjusting the temperature on my oven. I can just keep moving forward, getting all of these cookies done. Same reason that I am keeping with doing all of my light colored cookies first. And then I'm gonna do some chocolate cookies, but we're gonna do those at the end so that we are not mixing our doughs together. Let's get this first batch in the oven. As our first batch is out, we're gonna get our little Hershey Kisses, our Peppermint Kisses, put in our cookies. We're just gonna push them down. You wanna do this while your cookies are still warm because otherwise they won't give, to get those little Hershey Kisses in there. These are gonna be super pretty on our cookie table. I'm gonna let these cool on the cookie tray just for a couple of minutes before I try to remove them. All right, friends, we're on to recipe number 3. We are going to make just kind of a basic sugar cookie, but this is one that you dip in sprinkles before it goes in the oven, so the sprinkles actually bake into the cookie. These look phenomenal. I'm super excited to do these. I'm actually gonna do a double batch of these, so I end up having more. It says it makes 30 cookies. I'm gonna probably get close to 60 cookies out of it. I may try to make them on the smaller side with my smaller scoop than with my bigger scoop, and maybe I'll get more, I don't know. That'll put me at right around 200 cookies, so we're halfway there. We've got 3 recipes with about 200 cookies or pretty close to that. So we're just gonna keep moving forward. We've got 200 cookies to go after we get this one done, so let's get these made. All right, friends, so we are gonna start off with a full pound of butter. It is the holidays after all, so we can do it. It'll be fine. So this recipe calls for 1 cup of butter. Since we're doubling it, we need 2, which is a full pound of butter softened. And as I said earlier, I took all of my butter out of the refrigerator last night, let it sit out at room temperature overnight so that it was nice and soft and ready for me this morning to get started on all of these cookies. This actually has been pretty fun. This is probably the most cookies I've ever made in one day. And so I'm excited to see how this turns out. And hopefully my church will let me do it again next year. And next year I probably will have a little more notice than I did this time, and I'll be able to get started a little bit earlier in the year because there's a lot of fantastic cookie recipes that you can make ahead of time and freeze. And so that may be what we end up doing next year. All right, so we've got our full pound of butter in here. We're gonna put 3 cups of granulated sugar. We're gonna put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We're just gonna eyeball it. A little extra may not hurt. We've got 2 eggs. Once we get this cookie recipe done, this is gonna be the last one in our blonde dough. So we're gonna move on and do some chocolate type cookies after we get these done. Let's get this mixed up. Five and a half cups of all-purpose flour. We're gonna put in 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I think it's interesting that this recipe does not call for salt. And so we're gonna put a little salt in it because salt really helps bring out the flavor of everything. So we're just gonna put in a pinch or a heavy pinch. All right, let's get our whisk. Just like before, we're using our whisk to blend our dry ingredients together so we lighten things up, make them nice and airy. And then we're gonna start adding this a little bit at a time. And as I said, you still wanna move quickly when you're doing this so that we're not over mixing our dough. We're gonna go ahead and do our sugar cookies now. And I just wanna show you, I have a huge collection of different sprinkles from just things that I have collected, just some really pretty stuff. So we're gonna use these to decorate all of these cookies and just make these super festive. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to take a little bit more time with this specific batch of cookies and just really have some fun with these. And this one's almost empty, but we're gonna polish those off and use the rest of the stuff up. But I wanted to take a little bit more time to do this specific batch of cookies, and then we can move on. This one's probably gonna take a little while to do because it's a pretty good sized batch of cookie dough. And as I said, I am making them a little bit smaller just so that they can have more of the regular sugar cookie type cookies on our table for Christmas Eve. So let's get started with, so this specific cookie dough recipe tells you to, I wish these were easier to get out. To make your cookie, scoop your cookie dough and then flatten them a little bit and then push them into the sprinkles and then put them on your cookie sheet. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get the rest of these, this specific one out of here. Flatten it just a little bit. We're gonna take our cookie, plant it in there, and there is our little sugar cookie. Is our first batch of our sugar cookies. Are these not adorable? They are going to be so cute. Let's get these onto our cookie tray so that we can move forward with the rest of these cookies. I love that the sprinkles are not perfect. I am not big into perfection when it comes to sprinkles on cookies. I just want them to look good. Okay, for this next batch, we're gonna go a little fun. We've got some blue jimmies and a little bit of blue sanding sugar. These are more in line with kind of the Hanukkah type colors, but I think any of these wintry colors are gonna be beautiful. So, like I said, we are just having fun with these cookies, doing whatever we feel like, and that is gonna be beautiful. Let's get the rest of these done. I got 3 trays of the red, white, and green sprinkles. Let's see how many trays we can do of the blue. I just think they're gonna be so pretty. All right, friends, here is our blue sprinkle ones. These are gonna be so pretty on with all the rest of these cookies. We've got so much color, I love it. All right, we're gonna move on to the next recipe. All right, friends, we are on to another recipe. Let's see, this makes recipe number, technically recipe number 3. We did the M&M cookies. We did the sugar cookies with 2 different sprinkles. We did the peppermint cookies, and now we're back to the first recipe. We're gonna do a variation of that recipe with some cocoa powder in it. We're gonna make some chocolate cookies that look very similar to the M&M cookies, but obviously they're gonna be brown from the chocolate, but we're gonna drizzle white chocolate and we're gonna sprinkle peppermint, crushed peppermint on top of those. It's gonna be fantastic. Something a little bit different on the cookie tray, so let's get these made. All right, just like before, we are gonna put in 1.5 cups of butter, so that gives us 3 sticks of butter. I did not even wash my bowl because we're moving on to a chocolate cookie now. I'm not gonna worry too much about it because it's gonna get mixed up, so we're gonna be totally fine. As I said, I'm trying to avoid washing things in between because I don't wanna have to wait for things to dry. I don't wanna have to dirty up a whole bunch of dishes. I just don't see a point. So I would rather not have to wash, 85 measuring cups tonight when I go to clean up this mess. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but I was measuring sugar over there out of my canister. And of course, I had to dump some on the counter. So now I'm gonna have to clean up that mess or we'll have ants and that's not gonna be fun for the holidays. So I will clean up the sugar mess tonight. Let's get our last stick of butter in here. All right, so there's our 1.5 cups of butter. We've got our 1 cup of brown sugar, just like before. We've got our 1 cup of white sugar. Got our 2 eggs. And even though we're gonna put crushed peppermint on these, I'm just gonna stick with the vanilla in the cookie dough, not put any peppermint in this one, because I don't want it to be really overpowering peppermint flavor. I just want it to be the crushed peppermint up on top. So let's just do some regular vanilla. We're gonna put in our teaspoon or thereabouts. And this time when I do these cookies, I used this size scoop on the M&M ones. We're gonna use our small scoop this time because I would like to get more out of this batter than I did the M&Ms. So let's see if we can make that happen. So while this is mixing, let's get our mixer going. While this is mixing up, we've got our 3 cups of flour again. And to this, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We're gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of our Redmond's real salt. And this is where the variation comes in. We're gonna put in some cocoa powder. We're gonna put in 6 tablespoons, and I'm gonna put this in, it doesn't tell you when to do it. I'm gonna put it in with my flour. So that way it's all mixed in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I had to stop talking and count because I'm one of those people that I will lose track of where I'm at. So we're gonna take our whisk and we're just gonna whisk our cocoa powder in with our flour. To me, I think this makes more sense to whisk it into your flour and have it all combined. Just that's gonna make for a smoother cookie versus trying to mix that cocoa powder in after you've added your flour. I don't wanna over mix this. I want this to be a really...
I don't know that one.
Apparently my Alexa is trying to talk to me. She's eavesdropping. All right, there's that. Let's go ahead and start getting this in. This is all mixed in. grab our spatula. I don't see any crumbs down in the bottom of our bowl, so that got everything got mixed in really well. That's good. It's gonna save us a step. And again, I'm not gonna worry too much about getting my bowl super clean or my my paddle attachment super clean, because we are gonna do one more chocolate cookie after we get these done. So let's get this off and let's go get these scooped. As I said, we're gonna use our smaller scoop this time to see if we can get a little bit bigger batch of cookies out of these, and especially since we're going to put white chocolate on these and drizzle or put some little peppermint sprinkles on these, I don't want to have a super huge cookie because it can be really overpowering if you have them too big. Let's get these in the oven. Friends, here is our little chocolate cookies. Aren't those cute? So you can see it's the same recipe, but I did a smaller scoop this time because I want these to be a little bit smaller because they're a little bit richer cookie. And we're gonna drizzle some white chocolate on these after they cool, and we're gonna put some peppermint crush. It's the Andes Peppermint Crushed, I think is what it's called. So that's what we're gonna put on these after they cool. All right, friends, we are making some Hershey Kiss cookies. Super excited about this recipe. We have a few of our peppermint ones left over, so we're going to use those as well. So we're doubling our recipe. Let's see how many cookies we can get done. So we need 1 cup of softened butter. I'm telling you, friends, not washing anything and just keeping things for like items has really helped cut down on a lot of dishes that I would have to be doing in between. So this has been a huge time saver. We're putting in 2 cups of regular granulated sugar. We are putting in 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. We're putting in 2 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks. There's our egg yolks. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Let's start mixing this. So we have our dry mixture here, which is our flour. We've got 4 cups of just regular all-purpose flour. Because we're doubling, we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Half a teaspoon of our Redmond's real salt. We're going to add in, this is 1 cup, we need 1 1/3 cups of cocoa powder. So there's our 1 cup. And there's our 1/3. And just like before, we're going to use our whisk to kind of whisk our flour and our cocoa powder together so this is all combined before we add it to our wet ingredients in our bowl. All right, friends, so this is all nicely mixed. We're going to go ahead and start adding in our flour and cocoa powder. And there is our chocolate dough ready for our cookies. Okay, we're gonna just scoop these right onto our tray. Right here is our chocolate ones that are gonna get our Hershey Kisses. We're gonna get these off the tray and onto our cooling rack, and then we are going to immediately get our Hershey Kisses put on these things so that they don't set up all the way before we have a chance to do that. We have a few of our Peppermint Kisses left over, as well as some regular chocolate ones. Get our Kisses put in these real quick. We're gonna do a few peppermint. We're gonna do a few chocolate, just so we can use up what we've got. And this is the key to these cookies, friends, is to have them so that they are not completely set up, because you want them to still be a little bit soft so that we can put our Hershey Kisses in these. And then they are going to finish setting up as they cool. And there's the first batch. All right, friends, we're on the downhill side. We got our cookies done. We're going to make our funfetti cake. But how I'm going to do these is I have my little mini brownie pan. It's Pampered Chef product. I'm going to use this. So we're gonna have little tiny cakes instead of cupcakes, and that's how we're gonna do this. Super easy, super quick. I got the funfetti frosting that came with it, the little sprinkles. We're just gonna make some fun little cakes to add with our cookies. So everybody knows how to make a cake mix. Super easy. You just need your cake mix with your eggs, your water, and your oil. Put a little hole in this. I wanted something other than cookies, and I decided I'm also going to do a double batch of Rice Krispie treats, because we do have some people in our church that are gluten intolerant, so with all the cookies and stuff, they won't be able to eat those. So we are going to do a few Rice Krispie treats just for an extra option for people. So we're going to put in our half cup of oil, our 1 cup of water, and our 3 eggs. All right, let's get this mixed. All right, let's see how much. Like I said, we're making these pretty small, so I think we're just gonna do 1 scoop. And this is my little cookie scoop that we've been using today. We melted a little bit of white chocolate. We're gonna drizzle some white chocolate on these. Let's get the parchment paper out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So we're just gonna drizzle this on these cookies, and we're gonna put a little bit of our peppermint crunch. I'm just using a disposable Ziploc bag just to make it easy. Snip the corner off. We're just gonna do a little drizzle. Trying not to make a complete mess on my tablecloth and down my chair. Okay, so now we have our peppermint crunch. These are the Andes. Here, a little hole in them. And we're just gonna put a few on top of the white chocolate. Hopefully they'll stay on there. Those turned out super cute. I'm super excited with these. All right, so we're gonna let these set up and we're gonna move on to this other batch over here and we're gonna do something different with these. All right, so this section over here, we are gonna put a little bit of dark chocolate on top of each cookie. We're gonna finish them with some chopped pecans and a little bit of Heath. This was one chocolate cookie recipe. We decorated them 2 ways. All of this stuff. We're gonna finish decorating our little confetti cakes that we did in our mini brownie pan. I'm gonna fill the pastry bag with this icing that came with it. It's just the funfetti icing Christmas. We're just gonna put small little dollops of icing on these cakes. They don't need a lot. Cute little flowers right on top of our cakes. All right, there's all the frosting. The frosting came with these little Christmas sprinkles. So we're just gonna put a few little sprinkles on each one of these. I put down some parchment paper on my table. That's gonna collect any of the extra sprinkles, which is gonna make cleanup super, super easy for me because I hate cleaning up sprinkles on everything. These just look super cute, super festive. I just wanna use up these sprinkles because I don't wanna store them. So this is all the things that we made. I had a little issue with the recording of the Rice Krispie treats. One of them is just the regular Rice Krispie recipe. We just put Christmas sprinkles on it. The peppermint one, we used peppermint marshmallows instead of regular marshmallows. And we also added the same peppermint crunch that we used on these cookies that you're seeing right now, as well as something else. Anyway, that's what's in the Rice Krispie treats, even though we didn't get to show that portion being made. That's what we used on those Rice Krispie treats right there. They were super tasty, super delicious, and everybody loved them. All right, friends, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this long journey. We've got about 10 hours into all of this bake stuff that we have ready for our church Christmas Eve service tomorrow night. I'm super excited to bring these to church and share these with everybody. And I'm sure everyone's going to really enjoy each one of these little treats that we made. I will post a link in the description box for each one of these recipes so that you guys can make them yourselves. They are going to be super good. I'm super excited that this project is now over and I'm done and I can move on to another project that I have for tomorrow. So I'm excited you guys got to come along with me on this little journey, make all of these sweet little treats to bring to church tomorrow. If you guys have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. We are still pushing forward by the end of the year, hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers. So please share this channel with your friends and family and help our channel grow. It means so much to me that you guys take time out of your day to come and spend time with me, to see what we're doing in our kitchen, to see what we're cooking, and what kind of tasty things we're doing. I hope you guys will continue to follow along on this journey with us. We just love having you guys a part of our YouTube family. Hit that notification bell if you have not yet already, so you're notified every time we upload a new video. We're trying to upload as often as we possibly can, so you don't want to miss out any of the content that we share. And friends, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And just remember to spend time with your family and to be present with them. That is the best present you can give them, is your presence. And so friends, have a great day and God bless.